Our top story tonight, first responders suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder across the state will now have an easier time asking for workers' compensation. Good evening. Governor Evers signed the bill into law today. It provides up to 8 months of coverage.
As Sarah McGrew explains, our communities will be healthier as a result.
Until today, Wisconsin law excluded PTSD as a reason to claim workers' compensation, leaving first responders across our state having to pay for that necessary care on their own. Brent Jones has spent his career on the front lines of the Milwaukee Fire Department, seeing tragedies day after day that many of us will never experience.
Kids dying, people dying, car accidents, dying in fires, people being shot, police officers being shot, firefighters being shot, and when you go to bed, those images don't go away.
All of that eventually started to wear on him.
I got to a point where I was drinking a lot to try to forget. And there were 3 separate occasions where I had my gun to my head and my finger on the trigger.
That pain and stress shared by former law enforcement officer Michael Dowd.
Suffered from PTSD and depression, borderline suicidal.
Both Dowd and Jones sought out help, but it wasn't easy to get.
But the problem is I had to use sick days instead of it being like an injury.
We're losing officers continuously by suicide, and in most years, more by suicide than line of duty deaths.
A recent study found that across the country in just 1 year, 140 police officers and 103 firefighters died by suicide. That's compared to 129 line of duty deaths for police officers and 93 for firefighters. For nearly 5 years, Dowd, Jones, and others have been fighting for PTSD to be covered by workers' compensation. Today, that became a reality.
This bill ensures that they can take care of themselves, get treatment, cope, and get the help they need to serve their communities.
It helps the community by our members getting the help that they need, because you're going to have better patient care. You're going to have somebody who's thinking clearly.
Ultimately, the hope is countless lives will be saved. Reporting in Milwaukee, Sarah McGrew, TMJ4 News.
So we did some digging and found as of October 2019, these 13 states, including Ohio and the Midwest, do not offer any workers' compensation benefits for PTSD and other mental injuries. Wisconsin joins Minnesota, Illinois, and Michigan in offering that coverage.